I feel that there's no sphere of British life that is free from this kind of divisive identitarian thinking, much of it imported from America's toxic culture wars. And that includes the Church of England. I would actually argue that the Church of England in recent times has abandoned traditional Christian values in favour of this unholy trinity of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I'll say one thing, Bev, that this politics of victimhood, it doesn't go down very well with conservative ethnic minorities. So contrary to this view that it will attract and diversify Anglican congregations, I think that could actually alienate traditional-minded, family-oriented ethnic minorities who really value a traditional Christian message.
I'd just like to hear a bit more often, Rakib, bishops talking about Christianity, talking about their pastoral duty.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I think that's actually fed into the decline in Christian devotion. That, in my view, back in 2001, over 7 in 10 residents identified as Christian. The most recent census in 2021 showed that dropped to under half, around 46%. Now, a lot of people are saying that, that's down to immigration, demographic change. I think the Church of England has to take a lot of responsibility. And you're talking about the re-energization of Christianity, especially in urban parts of the country. It's actually more traditional-minded migrants driving those processes, migrants from Poland, Romania, Nigeria, Ghana, even places such as the Philippines and India.
It's interesting when you say that, Andrew, because that really made me think about the fact that you almost never hear people of the Christian church talk about values, about morality, about how to live a Christian... See, I'm even struggling to find the words to articulate it. Because we live in a time of such massive cultural and moral relativism. There's no such thing as good behaviour or bad behaviour anymore.
Absolutely.
It's just what you choose to do. And actually, I'd like to hear some church leaders... Maybe I'm just getting old.
Perhaps the Archbishop
No,
of Canterbury
I don't think so. I couldn't agree more. I think one of the worrying things for me, which I think is really holding back our country, is growing family fragility. We're an international hotspot when it comes to family breakdown. Back in 2021, for the first time on record, the majority of babies born in England and Wales were born out of wedlock. Church of England had nothing to say about it. So I think in terms of defending traditional family values and valuing marriage as such a sacred institution, I'd like to hear more of that from the Church of England, if truth be told.
Absolutely.
You'd certainly hear it in my church. I'm a God-fearing Roman Catholic, and we get the same... The message hasn't really changed. Funnily enough, it
actually ties into a little bit with one of the big stories, the other stories we've been talking about this morning, which is about this this generation of younger people who aren't working, who are scared of everything, who don't want to go and get a job. And actually, a lot of that is because there's no sense of sort of judgment. You're not allowed to say to someone, you're not allowed to say, you're lazy, go and get a job.
Right.
I agree. I think with that decline of Christian devotion, there's a lack of community spirit. For starters, but that sense of pride. And I think in Anglicanism as well, there's a very strong emphasis on having a dedicated work ethic, having an enterprising approach to life. So I'd just like the Church of England maybe to talk about more of those things.
Bring back shame. I think that's what we're saying.